Hi, and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. Now, we're in that sort of period between Christmas and New Year, where news is always a bit scarce and a bit quiet, and all the usual suspects such as Hancock, Johnson, Patel, Starmer, etc. all seem to go quiet around this time of year, don't they? But one thing I've noticed in the media today is this narrative about the Oxford vaccine, the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine being the winning formula. Okay, now let's just go have a look at an article that I was reading a little bit earlier. Here we are in the Mail Online. AstraZeneca boss says winning formula boosted Oxford's vaccines efficacy, with jab set to roll out next week as ministers target people to vaccinate to end cycle of lockdowns by February. Okay, now I'm not going to read the whole article, but it goes on to say the top boss of Oxford vaccine maker AstraZeneca says researchers have worked out a winning formula to boost the jab's efficacy. Pascal Soriot, chief executive of the British-Swedish pharmaceutical firm, says a two-dose method can push vaccines' efficacy rate towards that of its rivals, Pfizer and Moderna. His comments made to the Sunday Times come as officials reportedly prepare to approve the firm's jab developed alongside Oxford University. Ahead of the approval expected Monday, ministers are now targeting 15 million people to vaccinate in the hope of ending lockdown cycles. So they're basically in this article talking about how they're going to be rolling out 15 million vaccines to people by February in order that these lockdowns are all going to end. Okay, that's basically what they're saying in this article. Now, I'm very, very sceptical about that. Okay, I think there's all sorts of issues surrounding the vaccines, not just one of them, the vaccines that we've talked about, that none of the media want to shed any light on at all, even though it's information that's all out in the public domain. Okay, so we've had all of that. And the media are silent. Okay, they are silent. Okay, and we know what our disgusting, disgraceful, despicable, pathetic government did, didn't we? We know what they did when they found out some of the issues that were surrounding the vaccine. What did they go and do? They changed the law, didn't they? They changed the law so Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna and the like couldn't be sued. That's what our government did. Okay, so this is where we're at. With our government and what level of respect they want to show to people over safety. Okay, so this is going to be rolled out according to this article to 15 million people. Okay, in the hope of ending these lockdowns by February. Now, I just want people to think about the things that we've been told by the media, our politicians, the so-called experts, time and time and time again throughout all of this. They've made promises that they just are not capable of delivering. So this idea here that lockdowns are going to be over by February, I personally think is nothing more than propaganda, because anyone with half a brain knows that you can't trust anything that the media tell you, because throughout all of this, the information that the media has provided has mostly been wrong. Okay, and they've not questioned anything of the politicians, the so-called health experts. So this idea that this is all going to be over by February is nothing more than propaganda, okay? Because it's not going to be over by February, is it? We're just about to move into a third national lockdown. So what are these people talking about, that this is going to be over by February? I mean, what a load of rubbish. This is not going to be over by February. We have our government, our disgusting, despicable, pathetic government, on the 30th of December, about to plunge us into either a national lockdown or tier 4 lockdowns, much further across the country. We've already got 20 odd million people in tier 4 lockdown, and by the end of this week, we're probably going to have the rest of us in tier 4 lockdown. So this idea that this vaccine is going to be rolled out by February and all these lockdowns are going to be over is absolutely laughable and nothing more than propaganda. Okay, so don't swallow all this rubbish from the mainstream media and the BBC and the like, because they've not given any clear information through all of this. They haven't. They've been unquestioning of our politicians. They've been unquestioning of the medical experts, the chief doctors, etc. They've not been questioning them. They have been absolutely useless, the media. The media have been silent on all the real serious issues that we've been speaking about on Arno TV, about how on the 23rd of October, our disgusting, despicable, disgraceful excuse of a government very well knew that there would be huge numbers of ADRs, didn't they? And what are ADRs? ADRs are adverse drug reactions, aren't they? And that they expected to a COVID-19 vaccine. And they were so concerned about it that they spent £1.5 million, excluding VAT, on a brand new AI software tool that they needed to put in place because their existing legacy systems, the MHRA I'm talking about, who are our government, the NHS, etc., they knew that their legacy systems that they had in place wouldn't be able to be retrofitted. So they had to have a new AI software tool, didn't they, to cope with the huge numbers of adverse drug reactions that they expected to the COVID-19 vaccine, didn't they? And they also knew this disgusting, despicable, disgraceful excuse for a government. They also knew that they wouldn't have this AI software tool in place by the time that the vaccine launched, and that would hinder their ability to track these ADRs, and it would be a direct threat to human life and public health. They knew that, this disgusting, despicable, disgraceful excuse of a government, on the 23rd of October, and we know that because on the 23rd of October, that tender that we've spoken about on the TED, Tenders Electronic Daily website, which is a supplement to the official journal of the EU, they knew all this, because if they didn't know that, the tender wouldn't have been published that date, would it? Okay? And what did this despicable, disgusting excuse of a government do after the 23rd of October? They changed the law, didn't they? So companies like Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna and the like couldn't be sued by anybody for anything that happened to them. Okay? That's what this government did. And what are the media? Have the media spoken about any of this? No, they're silent. So if you're expecting that these same people who are pushing out this propaganda about that lockdowns are going to be over by February because of a vaccine that they're pushing, this is just laughable. Okay? Laughable. It's not going to be over by February. Like I just said, we're just about to be plunged into a third national lockdown, or a tier 4 lockdown, or tier 5. Who knows? But this is not going to be over by February. So this idea that mainstream papers are pushing that kind of narrative, it's not only just propaganda, it's actually dangerous, okay? Because anyone with half a brain can see that this is not going to be over by February, is it? It's just not, is it? So why are you putting that kind of information out there? Okay? People have suffered enough. People's heads are in enough of a bad place already without papers like the bloody Daily Mail pushing that kind of propaganda, okay? And messing with people's heads further. Because it's not going to be over by February, is it, people at the Daily Mail? Okay? So, this should just demonstrate why these people just should not be believed. Because anyone with half a brain can see that this is not going to be over by February, no matter what they roll out with the vaccine, okay? And I personally think there's going to be a much bigger pushback on take-up of the vaccine than these people think as well. Because there are issues surrounding it, there are issues that have surrounded safety to do with it, that they don't want to talk about. And it's all information that's in the public domain. And if anyone does talk about it, you're regarded as a conspiracy theorist or an anti-vaxxer or something like that. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. But I have genuine concerns with the way that this has been rushed out, some of the procedures that have been skipped over, okay? And some of the information that's out there in the public domain, where the MHRA, have spent £1.5 million, excluding VAT, with Genpact on this AI tool, okay? And if there was no issues with safety, okay, if there was zero issues with safety, you want to explain to me then why a disgusting, despicable, disgraceful excuse for a government changed the law so Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna and the like couldn't be sued? That really, really fills me with confidence, okay, on its safety. So, let's not pretend that all this stuff isn't happening, okay? Let's not fill people's head full of false hope like lockdowns will be over by February. One utter load of nonsense, okay? They're not going to be over by February. And it's irresponsible and dangerous for papers like the Daily Mail to be putting that kind of information out there, okay? Because that is misinformation. They're the ones spreading misinformation, putting out articles like that. Because, I'm not saying that, what I'm trying to say is they are going to roll out the vaccine. They already are doing, okay? But we've had people like Valence, okay, and Van Tam, openly telling us that doesn't matter if they roll out the vaccine, social distancing's not going to stop, mask wearing's not going to stop. They're still talking about freedom passports and everything. So this idea that this is all going to be over by February is just absolutely ludicrous. And the Daily Mail should be absolutely hanging their head in shame putting out an article like that, okay? Because it's just not going to happen, is it? So stop, putting out that kind of false hope, which is blatantly untrue, okay? Doesn't matter how much of the vaccine they push out by February. Lockdowns and stuff are not going to be over by February. And it's absolutely irresponsible of a national paper to be pushing that narrative to the public. And this should demonstrate to everybody why these people should not be trusted. These people calling themselves journalists. An absolute joke. An absolute joke. The Daily Mail, they should be hanging their heads in shame with an article like that. Because it's just irresponsible. Because the idea that this is going to be over by February, I'm sure everybody out there knows it's just laughable, isn't it? It is laughable, okay? So, if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe to the channel. And once you do, please ring the notification bell, so I can inform you guys of forthcoming videos that I'm going to put out, and you know, as I've said before, there's going to be a lot more coming, because you know there's quite clearly a lot to talk about, and it's quite clear that a lot of this information you're not going to get the mainstream media, the papers, or any of the mainstream TV channels talking about, are you? Because they just don't want to talk about it. Okay, so I want everyone out there to take care. You know, look after yourselves and your friends and your family and your loved ones. And as always, if there are people out there that you're not living with and they're on their own, give them a call, drop them a text, you know, send them a WhatsApp message, or you know, FaceTime them or whatever, because you know people would appreciate it, especially if they're on their own, because it's this whole thing has really been taxing on people's mental health, and people who are on their own, you know, give them a call, and you know, I'm sure it'll cheer them up. So I'm going to be back soon with some more videos for you. Before I go, I just want to thank again all the new subscribers that are coming in, because I'm noticing more and more keep coming. So thank you so much for all your support out there. If you can help me grow this channel, absolutely fantastic. If you can share this with people. This channel as well is also replicated on BitChute, and the one video that YouTube censored is still on BitChute, so you can watch that there. But I'm going to be back soon with some more videos for you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. Until I am, I want you all to take care. I want you to stay rock and roll. Thank you for watching Arno TV, and I'll be back very soon with some more videos for you.